Have you ever felt abandoned by the very people you trusted the most? Like no matter how much you gave, when you needed help, everyone turned their back on you? This is the story of a wounded wolf who learned that sometimes the hardest journeys create the strongest souls. Winter had arrived early. A thick blanket of snow covered the forest, and freezing winds swept through the mountains. Among the trees ran a powerful wolf pack, led by a fierce alpha. In that pack was a brave gray wolf named Ash. Ash was loyal. He hunted with the pack, protected the young, and never hesitated to risk his life for others. One day, the pack spotted a massive elk. The hunt began. The wolves chased the animal through deep snow. The elk fought back fiercely. Its sharp antlers swung through the air like weapons. During the struggle, Ash jumped forward to protect another wolf, but the elk struck him hard. He was thrown into the snow. A deep wound opened on his leg. Pain shot through his body. Yet somehow, Ash managed to help bring down the elk. The pack had food because of his sacrifice. But when the hunt was over, something unexpected happened. The alpha looked at Ash's injured leg. Then he turned away. A wounded wolf could not keep up. A wounded wolf was a burden. One by one, the members of the pack followed the alpha. Not a single wolf stayed behind, not even those Ash had protected. As the pack disappeared into the snowy forest, Ash stood alone, abandoned by the family he had trusted all his life. The days that followed were cruel. Ash limped through endless snow. Every step felt like fire. The freezing wind cut through his fur. At night, he curled beneath trees, trying to stay warm. Sometimes, he could hear distant howls from his former pack. Each howl reminded him that he no longer belonged anywhere. The loneliness hurt more than the wound. Still, Ash kept moving, because stopping meant death. Soon, hunger became his greatest enemy. His strength faded. His ribs became visible. He tried chasing rabbits, but his injured leg was too weak. Again and again, prey escaped. The forest offered no mercy. One evening, Ash found the frozen remains of a deer left behind by larger predators. It wasn't much, but it kept him alive for another day. And sometimes, another day is all you need. Then came the storm. The worst storm Ash had ever seen. Dark clouds swallowed the sky. Snow fell so heavily that the forest disappeared into white darkness. The wind roared like a monster. Ash could barely stand. He stumbled, fell, got back up, then fell again. Every instinct told him to lie down and give up, to let the snow cover him forever. But something inside refused to quit. Using the last of his strength, Ash pushed forward. And then he saw it. A small cave hidden among rocks. He crawled inside just before the blizzard reached its peak. All night, the storm raged outside. But Ash survived. Weeks passed. Slowly, his wound began to heal. The pain remained. The scar remained. But so did his determination. One morning, he noticed fresh tracks in the snow. A hare. Ash lowered himself carefully. He moved slowly, patiently, silently. The hare stopped. For a single moment, everything became still. Then, Ash sprang forward. Success. For the first time since being abandoned, he had caught prey on his own. It wasn't a huge victory, but it proved something important. He didn't need anyone to survive. As winter continued, Ash became stronger. Not because life became easier, but because he learned how to endure. One day, while crossing a frozen river, he saw something familiar. His former pack. They looked exhausted, thin, hungry. The elk herds had moved away. Food was scarce. Even the proud alpha struggled. Ash watched from a distance. The wolves, who had abandoned him, were now fighting the same. Hardships he had already overcome. For a moment, anger filled his heart. But then he let it go, because revenge would not change the past. The best victory was becoming stronger than the pain they had caused. Finally, spring arrived. The snow began to melt. Green grass emerged from the frozen earth. Birds returned to the forest. Life was beginning again. Ash climbed a hill overlooking the valley. The wound that had nearly destroyed him was now only a scar, a reminder of everything he had survived. He looked toward the horizon, not as a victim, not as a rejected wolf, but as a survivor. Then Ash lifted his head and howled. The sound echoed across the mountains. It was not a cry of sadness. It was a cry of strength, a cry of victory, a message to the world. I was abandoned. I was broken. I was alone. But I never gave up. And sometimes, that is what makes us stronger than we ever imagined. Life lesson. Sometimes, the people we trust will leave us when we need them most. But those difficult seasons can teach us strength, courage, and independence. Never let betrayal define your future. Keep moving forward, because your greatest chapter may begin after everyone else walks away.